Thank you very much to the Pertubuhan Seni Silat Inchak Malaysia for that amazing performance.
Back with one Silat here, the first challenge night of 5 that will be happening through the year for the inaugural One Silat Championship. It's a very proud moment for the organizers, also a very proud moment for Malaysia and the sport itself. Anthony Suntai joining me in the commentary box. Anthony, as we were saying, Silat has needed this.
It definitely did, and at the same time, even Malaysia is very, very glad to be able to promote this sport because actually it helps their tourism. You know, Malaysia has been very big as far as their tourism has been concerned for the past couple of years, and you know, having the One Silat Championship here will only help them be able to get to even greater heights as well, as far as their tourism is concerned.
Well, they already had so many things about Malaysia that would bring people in, but now to have a martial art that has been exposed in a sense, because that's the important point. One Silat, and Silat is not new. Silat has been around in its entirety for almost 2,000, 3,000 years in some ledges that we've seen. And in addition to having a new fight style, a new ring, we have the actual tradition of it coming through as well. So there's that link to Malay culture, which is so important. Now, on that note, we have a German fighter, Mariusz Paul Chalanovic. Andre Mewis, of course, German, and he was one of the biggest Silat exponents. You said 3-time world champion. Well, let's have a look at this guy, Mariusz. 186 centimeters, 82 kilograms, Silat, Muay Thai, Karate, and Taekwondo.
Well,
so
you know, Germany has been one of the few countries in Europe that has actually embraced Silat. And of course, our referee, Andre, is witness to that one.
Well, he's not going to be refereeing this. AJ Pyro is. And he's up against another one of the 3 Indonesian fighters that made the card, Arwan from Indonesia. And both of them are of the right age for us.
Exactly. That is more our generation.
There's 84 and 81 birthdays. There's a lot of experience walking into this ring now.
You see Mariusz there getting himself toweled off because he was, you know, drenched in sweat. So they've got to towel him off first before they apply the Vaseline. Sylvander making sure everything's in order, and he's going to give him the signal to put in his mouth guard.
And there it is. Mouth guard's fine, everything else is fine. 34 years old, still tough as nails. And it'll be interesting to see if the, well, I hate to say original forms, but Taekwondo and Karate have very fixed forms, very fixed kind of attacks, whereas what we've seen in the Silat ring so far has been fluid motion and being more versatile. So it'll be interesting to see if you can start weaving in some of the Taekwondo and Karate techniques in there, when really it's been more of a, well, even we haven't actually seen that many knees. There hasn't been that much Muay Thai in there either. A lot of wrestling in the last match that we saw. And Arwan, his opponent, who'll be coming out soon, is a kickboxing, boxing, and Silat exponent. So going to be favoring the legs if he can get them in.
That has always been the question here for all these fighters. How much you're going to be able to bring into the fight.
Execute your own plan.
Exactly.
They have been thinking about it. Of course, I was here yesterday for the dry runs, and I had a word with a few of the fighters, had words with the judges and the referees as well. And you could see already in their mind that they had an idea of how this night was going to play out, not just for their fight, but for all the fighters. And I'm sure they've already seen.
But once again, you know, it's so different from the drawing board to actually executing it here once you get into the ring.
And it's a close-knit group, as you see with a lot of emerging sports. And this really is an emerging sport, even though it has its tradition. They're a very tight-knit bunch. And so, who knows, maybe Mariusz has seen a few of his fighters that he's already thought would win lose today.
Well, one thing's for sure, both these guys are veterans, so something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
As far as all their experience that they're going to be bringing into the ring. Here is Arwan.
He's 29 and 34 years old. Arwan 29. Mariusz has the height advantage by some 11 centimeters, and that'll of course give him a reach advantage as well. But as Anthony pointed out in the earlier fight, that reach advantage can be completely negated if you follow the principles of Silat and move forward immediately. That's one of the main things we've seen.
And that's why it's key here in this particular fight for Mariusz to be able to make sure that he maintains that distance. The moment Arwan tries to close in that distance, he can use his arms, he can use his legs, he can even use his knees.
Well, Arwan, as I said, one of 3 Indonesian fighters on the card, and Indonesia has always laid a claim to Silat anyway. And really, it's been between Indonesia and Malaysia as to where it originated and how much of it is here. One Silat in no way is trying to eclipse any other Silat tournament, but it's definitely putting its marker in the ground that Silat Melayu and Silat Malaysia, as we've heard from some of the VIPs that have made speeches today, is here to stay. And Arwan's going to be hoping to propagate the Indonesian side of it.
Well, again, we talked about Silat being here for the longest time, but, you know, an event like this is going to be able to really propel it to the next level.
Again, the elders marking the entrance to the ring with the headscarf. And remember, these traditions are just to enter the ring. Well, as soon as they get in the ring, that headscarf's coming off again. But there are certain rules that must be obeyed. Not just the rules of the ring, but rules of the sport as well. As we look at the tail of the tape, as you see that massive height advantage that Marius has, and maybe he can use that against. He's also a bit heavier as well, 82 kgs over 80. Might not look like much, but 2 kilograms extra power to be funneled through.
Well, once again, you have to remember that was during the actual weigh-in.
That's right.
So we don't really know how much pounds they've actually added on. How much weight they've added on.
Ring ambassador showing us this round one, and as always, the 8 steps of Silat will be guided for both black and white. Marius in the black, Arwan in the white.
And now the ring belongs to AJ, as he says, Marius, step forward.
So Marius with his 8-step, yes, as I said, there are 3 parts to Silat. Seni is the art, Jurus is the forms. Man, this is intricate, interesting, and unique from our first European fighter. Different, unique.
White corner.
And now it's the opportunity for Arwan and his 8 steps.
There's absolutely no mistaking what he's intending to do there. That was pretty much every kill move you could think of.
That was a little bit more explosive,
Yeah.
his 8 steps.
Nice. Team are ready. AJ Pyro, our referee.
Yes.
Looking at these 2 fighters, it looks like
You know the rules.
Arwan
Listen to my call all the time.
seems to be the most explosive, the more explosive actually of the 2.
Well, these first opening seconds in the round are going to really tell.
Bersedia.
Let's see if Marius
Round 1.
can come up with the showing he expects. Let's see how he can use that height advantage
Mulai.
to his benefit. You can see, trying to keep that distance.
Oh, he's looking a little bit more timid than Arwan. Arwan's coming in with the heavier kicks immediately.
That's very
Yeah,
clear.
look at that.
And Arwan's got the power.
Oh, he's
Suddenly,
taunting him.
You can see Marius backing up,
Black fight.
which is very surprising.
Marius, we saw him looking very confident when he walked in, and look at this. Arwan is just pulling him in,
Langkah.
asking him to come in.
And I think AJ might have to warn Marius here.
So, go back to your corner. Go back to your
Well,
corner.
that's why they have guards.
Are you okay? You okay?
A little bit of a low blow there.
You want to fight? You okay? One more time. I know accidentally. Watch the low kick. Watch the low kick. Okay?
One final warning here given to Marius, and Marius looks a little bit tentative here.
He does. He looks a little bit nervy. Arwan's coming in with the big punches. Oh!
And really gun shy.
Listen, T. Stop.
Absolutely throwing his weight behind those punches.
Exactly, you're talking about Arwan, but I'm looking at Marius here, and he looks really like he's second guessing why he stepped into that ring.
Yeah, it doesn't look like any of that confidence has shifted through. He's looking very, if I may say, afraid.
And as you can see, again, a very tentative kick. And here comes Marwan, throwing those haymakers, looking to land just one big punch.
He's just constantly moving forward, and that's it. He's looking for the haymaker, the massive haymaker. Oh, it's big enough. Oh, and he's raining down punches now.
This could be it.
This could be it.
He's not defending himself.
It's been done. It's over. It's in the first round again, and fully deserved as he goes through. Now, that's not part of the rules. It's his own little set of forms at the end.
Was he throwing some scissor attacks there?
He was missing the scissor attacks, so he just put some blind scissor attacks off to unknown opponents. But I think you were right there. Literally, the confidence just drained away from Mariusz as soon as the fight started.
You know, I think he might have felt the wind of the punch coming here from Arwan, and all of a sudden he said, I want to have nothing to do with this.
Just the initial part of it.
He was not able to use that height advantage and reach advantage that he had.
Well, if Arwan was speaking for Indonesian Silat, then he's definitely made a very big statement indeed. He's come out and literally, as we look at the replay here, look at the massive blows he's trying to lay, and he hits one there. It was that right that caught him, that one. That had Mariusz already, and then that shot to the shoulder gets him on the floor, and then he's just pummeling the head. There have been a lot of people that have seen ring sports and wondered, especially with wrestling, as to whether it's fixed, whether it's, you know, it's been rehearsed in any way. You can see the weight of those punches coming down his head.
AJ came in at the right time. He saw that Mariusz was not defending himself intelligently anymore and called a halt to this battle.
And look at Mariusz's nose. You can see that was a general area which Arwan was fighting for.
Dan keputusan sudah pun berada di tangan saya. Setelah berbincang dan mendapat pesan dari pihak juri, di mana peserta dari penjuru putih dari Indonesia, Arwan.
Great win for Arwan, a great win for Indonesia. And their first win of the night. Looking through the fight card, we kicked it off with a good win for Skeldy Nuracil in the featherweight class over the other Indonesian fighter, Andy, the Shadow Primo Rosita. After that, it was the women's division, and that was a very quick win indeed from Audrey Laura. That was followed by Ha Quoc Dat from Vietnam taking out Mohamed Solihin. We also had, of course, the jumped up fight from the end of the fight card, which was Mohamed Noor Hisham, who came through against Kyle Anwar. What a fight that was. That was great.
So far, we've had 6 fights, and all of them really living up to their billing.
All of them have definitely delivered explosive silat.
I just can't wait for our main event to cap things off.
Believe it or not, the main event is still to come. And that's going to be the Malaysian 2-time champion, Mohamed Hasrul, against the Iranian champion, not just for silat, but also for kickboxing as well, Mehdi Jamalian. That's not far away now, and based on the speed of these fights, it could just be round the corner. He's done well for Indonesia as Arwan. And we'll be back with the next fight on our card in just a bit. Stay with us for One Silat.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada General Tan Sri Dr. Sri Dr. Haji Zulkifli bin Muhammad